I love your guitar collection there.
These old things, yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah, those old
we
things.
don't, we don't.
Nothing special, but you
Those
know.
are tools of the trade. Yeah,
Well, thanks so much for joining me to chat music, rock music in general.
yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if are you a fan of the term supergroup? Because I know that word's been circling around the band.
It's kind of a joke because, like, for some of us, the bands that we've been in like haven't been that big. I guess for Jeremy and Will, like their bands have some notoriety, but when we were like putting this together and we started getting mixes back, it was actually Bo, our mix engineer, who was like, "Oh, it's like a super group," and so it's kind of become like a joke, and we kind of roll with it, but we're also not serious about it, so it's not a big deal for us.
What matters is the good music that you guys have been releasing. I have to say, every song, in my opinion, has hit the mark, and they're very captivating.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes.
Now we've put a lot of thought into it, and we're actually discussing earlier how um, each song is very different thematically, and we've kind of not put them in a box, but like they're very separate in what they are, and like in terms of how we promote it, it all goes to the same sort of thing, and the feeling is there for each sort of promotion that we do, um, which we've just started to notice that we were doing. So it's coming across even to us, and we didn't know. So there's that.
Yeah, and so the newest single, Chin Up Kid, will be released on November 15th, and it seems like it's kind of like a pep talk between the heart and the brain. Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, I mean that's what Logan kind of suggested to us. However, upon reflecting with the lyrics a little bit, there's a little bit that you can take from it either way. For me, I deal with a lot of mental health issues, and so it's just for me a reminder that it doesn't always have to be that bad. And for other people, they may feel differently, and it's all what you take from it. So yes, there are elements of that in it, but I don't think that was the intended purpose. And so
Hmm.
we all have a different feeling about what the song is.
I like that when lyrics can kind of be interpreted differently based on the person listening to it, and you know, sometimes it's. I think that's what makes music special is you can have
Yeah,
your own thoughts on a song.
absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I haven't sat with Logan and I haven't gone like, what does this mean? What does that mean? I like to get my own interpretations of what it is and then compare that to what he eventually says. Um, and quite often they're along the same lines. We get there.
I think it's good to leave some mystique.
Yeah, I mean that's great because then there's no preconceived notions before you get your own idea of what the song's about. It's all up to the listener. And to be honest with you, even if we had our own meaning behind the song, once it gets released, it's no longer our song. It becomes
To the
the world's
masses.
song. So it is whatever people want to take from it. Um, if people want to just listen to it on a surface level, that's cool too. Nobody has to like really deep dive into the lyrics if they don't want to.
Exactly. Well, how are you feeling about the rock music scene at the moment? It seems like so many bands I grew up with, back in the 90s, early 2000s are, releasing new albums and heading out on tour. Do you feel like a lot of nostalgia is coming back in the rock music scene?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's fantastic because it's a lot of music that I grew up listening to. It's like when I first started playing in bands and touring, a lot of these bands that are coming back, I haven't seen them in years. And, I'm lucky I get to be friends with some of them, and some of them I haven't never seen live before because they broke up before I ever got the opportunity. And now I got to do that. Um, it is really, really cool that there is like a whole resurgence of it. And, festivals like when we were young, I was actually there last year for the first one, and it was like seeing every friend that I made in the music industry for the past 20 years,
Oh,
all in one
wow.
place. It was fantastic. So yeah, it's really cool that there is a resurgence of it, and it's really nice to see some of these bands be bigger than they ever were, especially if they've taken some time and not been active, and then all of a sudden they're playing the biggest rooms they've ever played, and they're more successful than they've ever been. It's amazing to see. It's really cool.
Yeah, are you familiar with Welcome to Rockville? It's a festival
The
in
festival, yeah,
Florida. Yeah, I just saw the lineup and I'm like, there's a
stacked,
lot of, it's an
so
insane
stacked.
lineup. I'm like, I want to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's fantastic. It's really good.
Yeah, but I saw like Limp Bizkit, The Offspring, and I'm like, what is this? Like 1999. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of like stepping back in time.
And I'm loving like the whole like kind of it's adjacent to what we're talking about, but like the whole like butt rock thing's coming back, with Creed, and like that's like the new thing, and apparently everybody loves Creed now, even myself. I don't know, but yeah, it's really funny. I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, same here. It's cool, and I think also that festival will give the spotlight to some newer upcoming bands as well, which I think that's great.
We hope for that ourselves. As there are elements of what we do in that have roots in the scene, and we just want to be part of it again.
Yeah, and how it has you know, since the formation of All the Pretty Things, how has that inspired you or kind of challenged you musically?
Um, it really has, because it's the most focused band that I've ever been in. Um, to be honest with you, I've been trying to not put this band together, but put a band that's of this kind of caliber. I've been trying to do this for like 14 years, and every time I get people involved, they weren't really the most dedicated bunch. Not to say all of them were like that, but just to say that I never got the amount of dedication that I needed from everybody until I put this group together. And then it just kind of all fit into place, without even trying. There was a definite sound that we came up with. Um, and yeah, it's just really interesting to know that any one of us can bring any idea that we want, and it doesn't matter, because either way, it's going to sound like what we do. We're not ever going to try and pigeonhole us. So we're just going to write the best songs that we can and put them out. People like them, they like them. If they don't. It's cool. But yeah, we're just super proud of what we've done, and especially the rest of the record that's coming out. It's going to be a constant release schedule now, which is nice. So it's going to be cool to start getting songs out there and start seeing what people think of the other stuff that we're putting out, which is a little bit newer to us. Because you got to think, when we started putting, Worth and I started putting this band together, we started doing the demos for this at the end of 2018.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it took us like 3 years to get a singer. And once we got that, that's when it all started, like the work started happening. But the initial concept and the ideas for some of them started quite a long time ago. And so I love the songs, but I'm kind of sick of hearing some of
Right.
them.
I hear that from other people too. It's like sometimes the process takes so long that by the time the song is released, they're sick of hearing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But some of the newer ones, we kind of put them together a lot quicker, and I'm super excited to get those out, because that's like the new hotness that we're listening to right now, instead of the songs that have been around forever, where we're kind of a little, they're a little tired for some of us. But yeah, just really interesting stuff, really cool music that we're putting out, and we're super proud of it. So
Oh, you
I'm
should
really
be.
happy with
Yeah,
how it's gone. Yeah.
that's great. So it sounds like you found the right puzzle pieces for the band, and now everything is
Yeah,
rolling.
a lot of searching, a lot of begging people. I mean, you got to think, you got to try and get people who are in their like mid to late 30s to play in a band again. Like, who wants to do that? That's insane. But apparently, we still live in the dream.
And never let the dream die.
No, no.
Gotta
I
live
mean,
the
we're
dream.
just doing it because we have to. It's what we do.
Yeah, I definitely can feel the passion in the music, and to me, that's key. I feel like I have to listen to music where there's passion, and I can really feel like the artists are genuine, and I think you guys have that.
Thank you. To your point, it is weird to me anyway, and I don't know because I've never been in this situation, but when you see a band's career and like, first 3, 4 records, great, right? And then there starts to be that decline. And I'm like, why are they doing that? Are they phoning it in? Are they just tired? Like, what's going on here? And or maybe they're genuinely thinking this is the best stuff that they've got. I don't
Oh,
know. Or if it's just like their fans thinking, well, this is the sound of the band, and they've kind of deviated too far from that. So that's what we don't like anymore. I don't understand that. So for me, I guess we'll find out. But putting the best stuff that we can out is the mission.
that's a good mission. I think you guys are doing well so far. So you said there's going to be like a constant release, like every few months, or leading up to
Yeah,
an album.
it's like 6-ish weeks.
Hmm.
We're actually putting every song on the record out as a single.
Oh, okay.
Um, as much as I want to just be like, here's an album because that's what people our age tend to like. The way the world is now, it's
Yeah,
all single
singles.
driven,
Yeah.
it's all playlisting. And, we're a tiny, tiny drop in the ocean of everything that gets released. So we've got to try and make the most noise as we can. And the way to do it is by releasing all the singles. So eventually, the idea is that it is a body of work. And once all the singles are out, there will be an album. But it will just be I think it's 10 songs that we've got. They're going to be out. So from next week, it'll be every 6-ish weeks.
Ah,
I say 6-ish because some we might push like to 7 or 8, depending if the song's doing well or not. Um, but we have everything kind of ready to go, so it's just going to be full steam ahead.
very cool. And are there any music videos in the works?
We would love to do that. There are concepts for sure. It's just the budget is
Ah,
not
yeah.
there just yet. But hopefully we get to do those kind of things soon. We're very, very excited to start bringing more visuals to what we do. We're doing a lyric video for this one for sure. But I'm very, very interested in visual arts, and our singer Logan, he actually works in film and TV anyway. So there is a connection to that world, and I definitely want to provide a more visual representation of what we're doing.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I know the whole budget thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, things cost money. I mean, we do try and do a lot of our own stuff in-house, but certain things like putting a music video together, we're going to need a crew of people for some of the ideas that we have. So, and we need to make sure that those people are paid adequately for their services. We are fortunate enough that we have some friends in the industry that are willing to help us out, but we don't want to let them work for free. We want to pay them what they need to be paid, and just unfortunately there isn't the budget for that right now, which is a shame. But eventually, we do have the ideas; they will be out. So
Very cool. Looking forward to all that. And now I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite concert you ever attended as a fan?
as a fan, wow, there's actually two that come to mind. And funnily enough, they were both at the same venue. So this was in Manchester in the UK, a venue called the Apollo. And the first one, it was an all-day, like a one-day punk festival called Deconstruction. This must have been 2001, I think.
Hmm.
And it was just a stacked lineup of all these great punk and hardcore bands. Like I remember Sick of It All played. It was Boy Sets Fire, Pennywise, Lagwagon. It was just this huge thing, like a 5,000 capacity venue, and it just blew my mind. I was like 15 and just losing my mind. It was so, so good. Um, the second one was I had a little bit more appreciation for the music. I wasn't trying to get in a mosh pit or anything like this. But it was a band called Elbow. They're from the UK. But it was the opening band, Mew, and I think they're from Denmark, I think. Um, and they were just phenomenal. It's probably the best live show I've ever seen. Um, and actually, I've got another one, City in Color at the, oh, what's this venue called? It was in London. It was in London. It was City in Color, and it was great. Um, the Royal Albert Hall, that's what it was, which is a
Oh,
really like prestigious venue.
yeah, I've
Um,
heard about that.
yeah, so that was fantastic.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think Royal Albert Hall, that's kind of like the Carnegie Hall, I guess, in the UK.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So it's crazy to think the year is coming to an end already. What are your hopes for next year? Either for the band or, just for yourself, creative wise.
Yeah, well, I hope that we get to play some shows.
Yeah,
That is something that is the top of our agenda right now. We're looking to put some stuff together with some friends, but I got to keep that hush hush. And hopefully soon that will be what we're doing. As far as personally, I just kind of want to play music, so that's really where I'm at.
that's a good goal. Which of those guitars is probably your favorite to play?
Oh, well, it's
Or
it's
if
difficult
there's one that's
because
not there, maybe.
well, no, there's not this one here and this one. These are like they're gonna be the main guitars for me for this band. But this one here is very, very special to me. Um, I got it off some dude for like $400 in Cleveland. And he had no idea what he had. And it's just a fantastic guitar. It's about as old as I am.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's just kind of it's my number one forever, but I don't think I'll be bringing this one out on the road.
It kind of is it like a country type guitar? I don't know. For some reason, it gives me like
Oh,
a
I
country
can,
music vibe.
I, no, I can get it out. I see what you're saying though. It's
Picture like Johnny Cash or someone like that playing it.
yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
it's just a kind of
Looks
heavily
beautiful.
modified and stuff, and weighs a ton because it's got bricks in it apparently. But so that's what I won't be bringing out. I probably will bring it out.
Do you remember the first guitar riff you ever learned?
Yes, actually, this is really funny. So, my interest in guitar came from my best friend when I was growing up in South Africa. My best friend's older brother, he played guitar, and I thought he was the coolest dude ever. He lived in like a shed in the backyard, and I thought that was so cool. And he would like sit in there and like smoke his doobies and play guitar, and I thought that was the most awesome thing. And he was like, "Oh, I'll teach you how to play guitar." And the first thing that he ever taught me was the melody line for Joan Osborne, "One of Us,"
Oh my gosh. I
which
remember
is
that song.
yeah, yeah. And so that was literally the first thing that I ever learned. And it was literally just the line, the da 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 da, and that was it. And then after that, when I first started like taking guitar lessons, I was obsessed with trying to learn like Nirvana songs, Garbage, any sort of like punk stuff, like Pennywise, Black Wagon, that kind of stuff. Um, but then my guitar teacher, he decided, no, no, you're going to learn classical guitar, and that's all you're going to learn because this other stuff's no good. I had a bit of an authority problem, and I thought that wasn't the best thing, so he kind of stopped being around. But he taught me how to play "My Heart Will Go On" in the style of classical guitar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm learning all the hits apparently.
Right. You're like learning all the songs that you are like the total opposite of what you wanted to learn.
At the time, yeah. Now I much appreciate it that I can just whip that out whenever I want.
Right. Well, you have a big repertoire now.
Yeah, apparently.
Nice. I've been trying to learn guitar and I feel like I should have started way younger because I feel like when you're younger, you soak things up quicker, and now it's just
Oh, it's so difficult now to try and learn
yeah.
things. It takes me forever. It's so frustrating.
Well, Tristan, I really appreciate your time chatting with me, and
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been awesome. A big change from just hearing the same old questions and answering the same old questions. So I do appreciate that.
oh, that's good. No, I'd like to, keep it like a conversation,
Yeah, yeah. My favorite kind of interviews are like that. It's always better when it's a back and forth dialogue, and it's just good to chat with somebody who's interested in what you do.
Yeah. But no, I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in Boston or even the East
Yeah,
Coast of the US. That would be
absolutely. If
amazing.
we have some dates, just let us know, and we'll make sure that you're all sorted out.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
thanks again for your time, and I hope you have a fun weekend.
All right, you too.